It's kind of just falling into the trap of the mass-produced e-commerce things again. What is happening? Welcome back to It's by Harry, my creative channel where I talk about all things creative. This is my second video, so thank you for all the warm welcome comments on my first one, which was just an introduction to myself and why I'm making this YouTube channel. So this video is all about why I stepped away from PODs. What are PODs to start off with? So I'm talking about print-on-demand services. So this is going to be really relevant for any artist or creative person or anyone really who's kind of starting a small business but wants another business to handle all of their inventory, shipping, all of that kind of aspect. That is what print-on-demand services are. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I have used them in the past. I used them for, well, several months last year while I was traveling around Southeast Asia, and I was just designing my own prints and artworks on my iPad, all inspired by my travels. And so I linked up. I'm not going to name any services because I want this to be an unbiased video and just give my experience and my opinion. I did a load of research as to which one was going to be best for me and best for essentially someone from the UK, with most of my audience and customers are from the UK. Trying to decide the cheapest way and best way to send artworks was quite tricky. Don't get me wrong, print-on-demand services are very attractive. Basically, how it all works is you simply have your own artwork. I could design anything as a digital file, and then you upload it to these websites, and you can essentially just place your artwork onto anything. So it could be a t-shirt, literally a print, an art print, put it on mugs, books, anything. Literally, these services offer so many different products. That allows you to extend how you sell your art, and you don't have to therefore buy all of these different products and have them in your cupboard or wherever you would store them, just waiting and hoping for someone to buy them. So it really actually makes a lot of business sense to use it. It's very accessible. Anyone can jump on and sign up and start using them. And what I did was actually link my shop with my Etsy shop. That's really handy because if anyone was to buy through my Etsy shop, it automatically sent it over to the print-on-demand service. Then they handle the rest and then it's just shipped. So it's incredibly easy and convenient for artists to get set up and start selling their art. And you may be wondering, well, first off, why I stopped using a print-on-demand service, which I'll come to in just a minute. But why am I talking about this topic? I see so many artists on my Instagram now sponsored by certain print-on-demand services, and they're really pushing to pay through their shop or use their link to sign up to this print-on-demand service. And to be honest, there is a reason why I stepped away and stopped using them, so I just wanted to give my opinion. So if you're in the position of potentially considering using them, it would just give you a more rounded knowledge or idea of if you want to use them, based on my experience as well, because from what I've said so far, it sounds like a no-brainer, right? The real reason initially was that prints started to go missing. So of course, this all sounds really good if all of the prints and everything arrives on time and everything like that. But there was the one, it was just, I think there was 2 or 3 that went missing in 1 month, but that's a lot. And I know postal services are out of our control and that could happen anyway. But I've been selling my art for years now, and I've always posted it myself through a post office, tracked, signed, basically the top end postage that I could do, because if I'm selling an artwork, it's meant an awful lot to me to create. And if someone's actually bought that, that just means everything. So I've always wanted to pay for the top tier postage, and touch wood, nothing has really ever gone wrong. When I've used the print on demand services, they've just gone missing and there's been no answer. And then I've tried to get in touch with the customer service, which I always found they were quite responsive, but there was never a real resolution to this. That got me questioning if I really wanted to be kind of out of the control of that. And then it came down to me thinking about the whole control system of it all as well. And it didn't really link up to my sort of ethics with what art is all about. Especially this year and last year, sorry, I feel like I've really slowed down with my art and started to realize that everything needs to be just that little bit more human. We live in a world where AI is essentially taking over loads of things, but I think that is forcing some people to realize the value of just human connection and doing human things. I feel like we can have computers and everything automate things as quick as possible, but at the end of the day, you're never going to take away human connection. It'd be like going to a dinner party and doing it over Zoom versus actually being present with the people there, cooking the food, smelling the food, and actually, I don't know, that's just an example I'm coming up with, but you will never take away real human connection when it comes to creating things. And so it made me think, I'm creating and spending so much time on these artworks that when someone buys it, it just gets automatically shipped off by someone else, and I have no input into that process really. And that just didn't really sit well with me, because in the past I've always hand wrapped every single artwork. I've put a handwritten note with them, like my business card, all of these little things, which I always thought, oh great, this would make a load of sense for someone else to ship off my artwork. It's so much more convenient and it would allow me more time to create. But actually the wrapping and everything, it's all part of it. I love when you order from a small business and you get something and it has all fancy wrapping, it's all really nicely done, and you kind of have that feeling that a real person has done this, as opposed to a mass-produced warehouse, which I'm just assuming that's what these print-on-demand services are kind of working out of, and that's probably why my parcels got lost, to be honest. But that's just a big factor for me. If I had kind of known about these little things or just seen it from a kind of different point of view, I may have thought about it differently. With that said, if I'd never experienced it, I always would have wondered, and I'm very much a person who likes to just try things, give it a go, and then figure it out for myself, rather than just always take someone's opinion from it. So by all means, if you're considering using a print-on-demand service, give it a go and see what you think. It might allow you to create more, which is always the main aim, but I would say just remember what art really is about. I mean, it means different things for different people, but I think art will always be about human connection. Yeah, just expressing yourself in a real way. And the more we move into a digital world, I feel like art will never be taken over by that. And so if we're using these print-on-demand services where things are automated, it's kind of just falling into the trap of the mass-produced e-commerce things again. But that's just my opinion. Whether you're an artist, a small business owner, or anyone who actually just has an opinion about this, do you think it takes away from that human connection? Do you think it's just moving with the real world? It would be actually quite interesting to hear everyone else's opinion, so that's just mine. I'm going to leave that with you and wrap up this first video. So thank you very much for listening, and see you on the next one.